In 1959, it was the 75th anniversary of an Argentine volunteer fire company, and they decided it was a good opportunity to seek a replacement for their almost 35-year-old fire truck. The 4 volunteer firemen decided to take the journey, almost 17,000 miles to New York, to trade in their 1925 Brockway truck. They traveled along Route 336, which was characterized by seemingly a series of 336 turns. Many of these were extremely tight hairpin type turns, which in the truck was difficult to maneuver. And it was later said of the truck that it could go 40 miles an hour on the flat, about 2 miles an hour uphill, and like the devil going downhill. They reach Bolivia, which by this point they were already several months into their journey, and there was flooding in Bolivia. 40 days all told they had to wait. They get to Costa Rica, and Costa Rica, the big challenge there was that they had 14 rivers that they had to traverse over. Got the truck on the raft, which immediately began to sink. In its own power, it came out of the river and continued on, which was really just a testament of how strong this truck really was to last 35 years, be submerged in a river, and then continue on under its own power. So they made it out of Costa Rica and fortunately really had few troubles getting themselves to Atlanta and then up to New York City. So when they reached the city, they thought they'd made it, but Brockway by this point heard of this tale, heard of this trip that the men were going on, and sent a representative down to meet them. And then they continued on their way to Cortland, New York, where they would actually be able to trade in their truck for a brand new truck. So they made it to Cortland and were met with, I think, about 2,000 people who were there with a parade. The Cortland Fire Department had a big dinner for them, but the trip, which was supposed to take 4 months, took 15 months. When the old truck was returned to Brockway, they did hold on to it for some years until Brockway actually did close down. And the truck now actually is held at the Central New York Living History Center here in Cortland, New York. Visitors can go and see it in the museum there. When it came into possession of Brockway, and still to today, you can see all the signatures that were added by well-wishers as they traveled through various fire departments and towns. I think there's stickers. It's in rough shape, but it's beautiful in the story that it tells.